Previously on Earth Eclipsed.
I'm home! Maybe they went somewhere safer. We should go to the city.
He's not as bad as you think.
But surely as ex-security, you must know that what he's suggesting about the Concord is completely insane.
Don't worry, Alex. They'll stop Nico before he can do any real damage.
We're going to the resource monitor. I need to see what happened.
It has been decided.
Are those Benefactor ships? They could put a stop to this madness. That's not why they're here.
The chain of events the Abacus Project set in motion.
It's been confirmed that the 4 people missing from the Memory Project are dead.
I will find a way to save the Outer Worlds, to keep them in harmony with the Concord.
The Council is quite firm on this.
I've always had faith in you.
I'm staying blind.
Linus is the leaker!
I need backup!
You shot him?
But I never knew space could be such an adventure. For me, the Concord was a beacon of hope.
Nobody move! They're in here!
Benefactor, we found Dr. Prometh. She is safe.
Excellent. Escort her to the ship. Throw the rest in the brig.
Hey! Let me go! Do not touch me!
Come in.
Dr. Prometh, I'm sorry to disturb you. May I enter?
Yes.
I'm Benefactor Trem. May I say, it is truly an honor to meet you. Benefactor Una is with me.
Hello, Dr. Prometh.
Hello.
I've been designated to assist the Benefactor in her duties. I wanted to assure you personally that she's not being reassigned, since I know you two have a rapport. However, the Council did feel it would be best if she reported to me for the time being, for security's sake.
I am grateful to the Concord for the assistance.
Dr. Prometh, is everything in order? Are you comfortable? Has Emoti been offered to you?
I'm fine.
I received the request to release Max from the brig. However, he did threaten a Concord officer, with a weapon, no less. I've informed the Council that it was only because he was concerned for your life. I've been advised they'll take it into consideration.
Dr. Prometh, I promise you, I beg to the Council for leniency. If it weren't for my mistakes, Max would never have been driven to do such a thing.
Now. No need to rehash old problems, hey? Water under the bridge. Benefactor Una's plea was very persuasive, but we have to consider what's best for the Concord.
The Concord?
I do have some good news for you, however. Linus has been banished to the Outer Worlds. An unusual step, but as his extreme actions showed, his personal ethics were at odds with our philosophy of peace and harmony.
Peace. Harmony.
Wonderful. Well, I thought it would be good to introduce myself, and to let you know that I'm here if you need me. 2 whole benefactors at your service. Lucky you.
Lucky.
We'll leave you to your rest. Come, Benefactor Una.
Yes, sir.
Oh, there is one small matter. Nothing too taxing. And then we'll be on our way, I promise. Doctor, when we were reviewing the logs in the resource monitor, it looks like you accessed a memory. We wanted to know. Is that accurate?
Dr. Prometh, please.
Yes. I saw everything.
That is unfortunate.
I don't think so. If anything, it strengthened my faith in the Concord.
Doctor, can you elaborate? The Council is eager to hear your response.
The deaths of the Sogan people, while tragic, were necessary. They prevented a much greater loss of life. It was a small price to pay for the greater good.
Doctor, I can't tell you how wonderful that is to hear.
Humanity should thrive over generations.
Humanity should thrive over generations. The Council will be so pleased, won't they, Benefactor Trem?
Indeed.
It did get me thinking, however. Now that the Abacus project is complete, we may have another way to save the Outer Worlds. Take Sogan, for instance. That man, the one pushing so hard for the law to be changed, he was only doing so because of the death of his daughter. What if he just forgot that it happened?
Forgot?
Yes. Now that we've found a way to read brainwaves, what if the next step is to go into the mind of a living subject, discover any memory that had the potential to cause dissent, and just delete it? Oh, I'm sorry. Am I being too extreme?
We should tell her.
That hasn't been authorized.
But we could use Dr. Prometh's expertise.
I'll allow it.
That was always the plan. The Abacus project was simply phase 1.
I see.
Doctor, there was some concern you wouldn't want to be involved. While some of us thought your support of the Concord was unconditional, there were those who doubted.
I'm insulted you would even think of asking someone else. I am the best candidate.
Which I've always maintained.
There are times when you can be a bit idealistic.
My idealism has always been in support of the Concord.
Exactly what I said. You've always been a staunch supporter of the Concord. You even moved to the capital to make sure you'd always be a part of it.
How do you know that? I've never spoken about that publicly. How do you know that?
Dr. Prometh, let me assure you, the only reason I know anything is because of your great talent.
Benefactor, please. Don't insult the good doctor, especially when she's been so generous with us. Dr. Prometh, the Concord has been paying close attention to you since before your rise to prominence. It's why we had some concern about your having retrieved the memory. Our data showed there was a chance you wouldn't support us.
Your data?
We've been tracking your decision-making, predicting potential outcomes.
But only to ensure that you had what you needed to achieve your full potential.
You've been tracking me? For how long?
Since aptitude tests suggested you might be likely to solve the memory problem.
I haven't taken an aptitude test since I was a child. You've been watching me since I was a child.
Watching is a strong word. We identified you, along with some other promising candidates.
I don't understand. I chose to study memory data. I founded Prometh Tech. I partnered with Holocorp. The Concord wasn't involved in any of those decisions.
We may have created some favorable conditions along the way.
If there were other candidates, why me?
The Council has been conducting memory research for generations, with no success. We needed someone who would take greater risks.
Morley, you can be a bit flexible.
My test subjects. You knew they would die. You knew retrieving memories was impossible without it. And you knew I would do it.
Again, knew is a strong word. We weren't certain. We merely had an indication. And as you said yourself, Doctor, it's a small price to pay for the greater good.
You should be proud you were selected, Alex. You are truly exceptional.
Oh, and Doctor, when you get back, get your eyes repaired, will you? We've completed the stim. No need to walk around like that. Benefactor Una, before I send a holo transmission to the Council, you should wipe that smirk off your face.
Smirk? Benefactor Trem, there is no smirk. That's purely your imagination.
Please. You're gloating so openly even a blind woman could see it.
I'm not gloating. I'm simply pleased that Dr. Prometh's support is unwavering, as I predicted.
If only your decisions were as reliable as your predictions, I wouldn't even be here. Oh, that smirk you were saying wasn't there? Seems to be gone now. Concord Cruiser 357. Open a transmission to the Council. Council, we have an update on the status of Dr. Prometh.
Dr. Prometh is eager to assist us with the next phase of the memory projects.
Acceptable.
I have some trepidation. We don't know what happened during her absence. She may have formed a bond with her captors.
She would never.
I suggest the Concord monitor for any signs. Attempts to visit or contact the prisoners.
Agreed.
Regarding the prisoners, how would you like us to proceed?
Have you made a decision about Max?
I still think he has the potential to be a threat.
Disagree.
Thank you, Counsel. With regards to the other prisoners, I have a suggestion. Perhaps it would be best if they met with an accident.
Please hold. Unacceptable.
Agreed. Citizens are too aware of the prisoners. Such an action has the potential to be seen as suspicious. Unfortunately, Benefactor Una, your failures were very public.
Agreed.
My deepest apologies.
No need to apologize. Again. But we do have to take it into consideration. Counsel, is there any concern, given the visibility of these incidents, that they might encourage similar actors? We've never had this level of disruption. I worry that some might take it as inspiration.
Please hold. Agreed.
If we need to discourage such actions, might I suggest a trial?
That archaic device. It wasn't a deterrent when it existed.
I wasn't finished. Hold it publicly, and on conviction, make their punishment public as well. Show citizens that such actions will not be tolerated.
Please hold. Agreed.
The trial will also give Dr. Prometh an opportunity to testify against the prisoners. If she is loyal to the Concord, that shouldn't be an issue.
It won't.
And one last thing, I suggest that punishment for the prisoners should be severe.
Please hold. Agreed.
Two energy fields, reinforced titanium bars. Looks like the Concord learned their lesson. I am so sorry, Nico.
Sorry for what? It's what I've been saying for years. The Concord destroys the outer worlds.
I know, but to actually see it.
So, Nova, do you still think the prison they built for us will be a cushy ride?
Definitely not.
Alex!
Max, they let you out.
I can barely look at them. Every single security officer, their faces, their uniforms makes me sick. The Concord must be stopped.
I'm glad you're here.
Me too. What's the plan?
I wanted to inform you your services are no longer required.
My services?
As my assistant.
Your assistant? What the hell are you talking about?
I'll be continuing my research.
You're kidding, right?
I lied to the benefactors. Told them that the projector screen didn't work, and that no one saw the memory aside from myself. It's as if it never happened.
You're going to ignore what you saw?
I'll tell them that the ordeal was too much for you. That you require leave. That way you can find other work on your own. I'll even provide a reference.
Have you lost your mind? We have a responsibility, Alex, to start a revolution.
The only thing I saw in that memory, Max, was a peaceful organization. Maintaining the peace.
You're a monster. I'm going to tell everyone the truth.
You have no proof.
I'll find it.
Given what we've seen the Concord is capable of, that would be inadvisable.
I can't believe I dedicated so much of my life to you.
Salutations, citizens! This is Irek Zemi from the Concord Herald, reporting to you live from the main square in the capital. The day we've all been anticipating for 8 months is finally here. The trial of Nico Dunn and Nova Naran. For those of you who aren't watching the live holo stream listening in, the stage that has been built for the trial is still empty. We're set to get started in just a few moments. There's already quite the crowd, and experts predict this is going to be both the highest attended and most watched event in Concord history. The big question on everyone's mind is, will Dr. Prometh testify? She's been uncharacteristically out of the public eye since her return to the Concord. She hasn't granted a single interview as she's recovered from her experience. Will she be well enough to take the stand? Or will the recounting of the events be too traumatic to face? If she can't testify, experts have suggested that citizens will not support a conviction. Oh, and it looks like someone is coming out. Concord security have taken the stage. They've been a conspicuous presence here, with uniformed officers throughout the crowd. Here come the Benefactors. Led by Benefactor Trem. There are the witnesses. No sign of Dr. Prometh, but she still could show up later. And there are the prisoners. Among the prisoners is the robot, now being seen for the first time. As robots have been banned since the days of distance, there has been speculation that, regardless of the outcome, it will be disassembled at the conclusion of the trial. Everyone is taking their seats. Benefactor Trem is approaching the podium.
Citizens, we are here today to witness. The Concord has long been a place of peace. But there are those who have taken that for granted, who have taken advantage of the freedoms that provides. We hope this trial, whatever its outcome, serves as a reminder to all that peace is fragile. Peace is a privilege. It needs to be protected. And the Concord will protect it. Nico Dunn, Nova Naran, the charges against you are kidnapping, assault, harboring weapons with intent to cause harm, and conspiracy against the Concord. Let the evidence review begin. First witness. Please state your name.
Maximus Marksai.
You are Dr. Prometh's former assistant, correct?
Correct.
Mr. Marksai, please state how you first came to make the acquaintance of Nico Dunn and Nova Naran.
Can everyone hear me? Dr. Prometh and I were engaged in research involving the resource monitors. Its purpose was to save the Outer Worlds. No, don't clap. We thought we were doing it for the good of humanity. That by extending the Concord's reach, we were providing peace and prosperity for all. We were wrong. The Concord is responsible for the destruction of the Outer Worlds. The Concord prevents descent by committing genocide.
Security.
I have proof! I have proof! I've spent the last 8 months traveling the Outer Worlds. No, let me go. There are blast patterns made by Concord weapons.
Security, hold. Mr. Marksai, our apologies. The trauma you've been through affected you more than we realized. We shouldn't have forced you to relive it.
This isn't trauma. It's the truth.
Thank you for your time.
Coward! What are you afraid of, Trem?
Security, hold. The Concord has nothing to hide. Mr. Marksai, please, if you insist on discussing this, step up to the microphone so that everyone can hear. So, You say you have evidence of blast patterns caused by Concord ships on the Outer Worlds.
I've collected holo recordings. I've sent packages to every major news outlet. You should all be receiving them now.
But these outer planets you visited, aren't they known enemies of the Concord?
Wouldn't you be if your entire...
Please, a little louder.
Wouldn't you be if they committed genocide on your planet?
Genocide? That's a very strong accusation. Isn't it possible the Outer Worlds faked this so-called proof as a way to discredit the Concord?
They didn't!
But if they are enemies of the Concord, wouldn't they have an interest in doing so?
Yes, but that's not what happened.
Prove that they didn't. Mr. Markseye?
I can't prove a negative.
Then your proof isn't exactly ironclad, is it? So we have two options. Either the Concord is callously destroying the Outer Worlds, brutally murdering billions of former citizens, citizens it previously protected for generations, or the Outer Worlds, displeased with being kicked out of the Concord, are trying to discredit us. Well, citizens, what do you think? Should we believe Mr. Markseye's wild allegations? Please, don't judge him too harshly. He's been through something unimaginable. We'll make sure he gets the rest he needs. Security!
No, let me go! I'm telling the truth! I'm telling...
Second witness, please. I said second witness. Can someone please locate Dr. Prometh? Dr. Prometh, thank you for being with us today. Since your appearance seems to have caused some concern, would you please explain? Put everyone's mind at ease.
I'm blind. The device I'm using allows me to walk safely.
Thank you. Are you in pain, discomfort because of your blindness?
No.
And you chose this, to conduct your research even though you could reverse it at any time?
Yes.
Is it contagious?
No.
Wonderful. Thank you for assuring us all. And of course, if you need a break at any time during your testimony, do not hesitate to say so.
My legs work just fine, Benefactor Trem.
Of course. Dr. Prometh, how did you come to meet the accused?
They kidnapped me.
Not once, but twice, correct?
Yes.
And they restrained you?
Yes.
Threatened you with weapons?
Yes.
Threatened your life by forcing you to complete a highly experimental and potentially deadly procedure?
Yes.
And through all of this, did you ever learn what their intention was?
To prove the Concord was responsible for genocide.
Why did they do that?
Because they are enemies of the Concord.
This is bullshit! You know what you saw!
Quiet!
We're a team. Is that a smile I see? No.
Turn it off!
Could it be that you're actually having fun?
Absolutely not. It's just, though I never knew space could be such an adventure.
Security!
Do not touch him!
It's okay, I'll stop. Alex, I thought you were our friend.
Citizens, you have heard it for yourselves. These prisoners are responsible for atrocities unexperienced in the Concord for generations. They have threatened the balance of peace and safety. By attacking one of our citizens, they have attacked us all. However, the Concord is not without mercy, not without compassion. We have an offer for the prisoners. Nico Dunn, Nova Naran, you are being given a choice. Pledge allegiance to the Concord, recite the Charter as a show of faith, promise to abide by its articles, and we will let you live as citizens. In peace. You will be cleared of all charges. Or refuse. You'll be found guilty on all counts. And executed. What say you?
I'd rather die.
Sim.
You see, citizens, they'd rather die than join the most peaceful organization in history. They're nothing but terrorists. Security, prepare the prisoners. Nico Dunn, Nova Naran, you have been found guilty on all counts. Though granted leniency, let the records show you have chosen death. May the Concord's mercy shine on all. Security.
A ship has just appeared. It's possible that after the execution, we will be treated to an aerial fireworks show.
Prepare your blasters.
What's this? The ship, it's descending on the stage. It isn't a Concord ship! Security is firing their blasters at the ship! They're having no effect. How could this have happened? Where are the Concord cruisers? One of the prisoners has gotten hold of a blaster! Wait, is that... It is! A ladder is being dropped from the ship! The prisoners are escaping! The prisoners are escaping! Oh, hold on. Some brave security officer is climbing the ladder! Hopefully he can put a stop to this! No, wait, it's Maximus Marxi! They're getting away! Somebody! Stop them! Somebody! This is, without a doubt, the most tragic day in Concord history! The prisoners are lost! I repeat, the prisoners are lost!
Everybody in one piece?
Yes.
I am fine.
Me too.
Good. Now, who the hell is driving my ship?
Welcome aboard! What? You're not happy to see me? Oh, pity. I went through a lot of trouble to pull this off.
You guys, that's not fair. You know I can't run. Alex?
Hello, Sai. I'm sorry I didn't give any of you advance warning, but those security officers, they seemed hell-bent on proving we were all in cahoots.
I knew it! I knew you were our friend.
Do you think I could support the Concord after what we saw? Ridiculous. I mean, it wasn't easy, pretending. Did you know, they would talk about their suspicions I was a traitor in front of me, as if I weren't even there. I wanted to shout, just because I can't see doesn't mean I can't hear you, idiots. But that's the Concord for you. They don't know how to deal with difference. They only eliminate it. They would have held me down in a stem vat if they could. In any case, testifying against you was the only way to get them off my back. Everyone was so busy watching that garish spectacle of an execution, no one followed me when I went to get the Gungnir. And luckily, most of the officers that would normally have been watching her were busy patrolling the crowd.
So all that down there was...
Part of an elaborate ruse. Sorry if I hurt anyone's feelings. Speaking of which, can someone take the controls? You'll need to drop me off on the planet so I can go back and get Max. We'll set a rendezvous point at the south side of the city.
I'm right here.
Max, how did you...
You sure created one hell of a diversion.
Doctor. You saved us.
Dr. Prometh, for such a small woman, you are very brave. Thank you.
Alex? You were going to take the risk of going back? For me?
How could I not rescue my only true friend?
Well, Doctor, looks like the Concord finally got to see what a gigantic pain in the ass you truly are.
Oh, you have no idea. When they figure it out, they will be furious.
How? How did you do all of this?
Well, I've spent the last 8 months lying to the Concord. They made this stim, the one to replicate blindness. I kept telling them it didn't work, but really I was just training their recruits so poorly they'd never be able to retrieve a memory. I kept telling them how incompetent they were, and they'd trip over themselves running in circles trying to fix it. In the meantime, I've been retrieving memories to learn everything about Concord operations. Scouring for classified information, covering my tracks, learning all their protocols, stealing security access codes. It's been quite a bit of work.
Why? Why didn't you tell me? I could have helped you. I could...
If I got caught, I was still valuable to them. They needed me too much. But I wasn't sure I could protect you. If something happened to you, Max...
Alex,
What the hell did you do to my ship?
Well, I'm still blind, you know. I had to make adjustments so I could fly the damn thing.
How long until the cruisers come for us?
I've disabled them temporarily. By the time they fix it, we'll be somewhere safe. But I found something in the memories. I know how to destroy the Concord. Hello? I can't see your faces, so I don't know your reaction. Are you too afraid of them now? They'll do everything in their considerable power to kill us. I'm sure we could find some cozy planet somewhere, hide out for the rest of our days. Or separate planets if we simply want to go our own way. Never speak of this again.
I want to stop the Concord, whatever the cost.
I am not afraid to die.
I'm in.
Let's take the bastards out.
Direct hit!
Psy, armor damage.
20%.
Keep an eye on. Nova, can we make it to the node with the cruiser on our tail?
I will do my best to evade.
Psy, open a transmission. All channels.
Yes, boss.
There we go. Listen up. We don't have much time. The human Concord is collapsing. The whole damn thing.
The Gungnir is at 23% armor damage.
The Concord network and everything connected to it will cease functioning. Space stations, vessels, listen close. You need to get back to a planet now. Every system on your ship relies on the network. When that goes, you go. If you have to, use emergency pods. They're not hooked up, so they're safe.
Armor damage at 24%.
Shut it, Sai.
Things are gonna get messy. But those of you on planets, you have everything you need to survive. Trust me, it may not feel like it because you've never been on your own before, and you're going to have to figure out some things for yourselves for the first time, but you will get through this chaos.
Armor damage at 25%.
Not helping.
You will long for your comforts and dependencies. You will loathe the choice we have made and curse the changes we have brought. The chain of events the Abacus Project set in motion. 7,604 standard years. That's the record for the longest lie. You lived your whole life in a prison, and it became your home. I I can only hope that, in time, you will come to see these bindings as they truly are.
Armor damage.
I swear, I'm going to throw you out of the goddamn airlock!
But, Chief, you told me to
keep an eye on its side, not to yell out the exact number every second. All right, listen. A lifetime's use of a MOTI and nociceptor splicing have surely numbed your senses. But now, you will feel. You're not used to it, but it's human. And as a wise person once said, if humanity wants to be at its best, it will be through its feelings. Because love and pain and joy have gotten more done throughout history than strength or smarts alone ever did. So that pain you're about to feel may be hard, but it's necessary. Survive, stay safe, and eventually rebuild. Humanity depends on what Alex has done. Any of you idiots care to tell me how many listeners we got?
Can't this wait?
Wait, I got it. 2. And armor damage at 31%.
Well, fuck.
The modified sonic detonators are loaded and ready to go.
No one was listening.
Oh well, they'll have to figure it out on their own.
Uh-oh, that last blast got us dead on. Armor damage now at 62%.
The Gungnir! She cannot take much more!
Once the network is down, they won't be able to fire.
We are in range of the node.
On my count. 3, 2, 1, fire! Status!
Hold on. The node is still working.
How is that possible?
That should have taken out the backup. The whole network should be down.
Well, it isn't.
Evade!
Guys, the armor can't take another hit.
We must go.
But the Concord network.
No point in dying for nothing. Nova, punch it!
Oh, we can't just leave!
Sai?
Armor is down. I repeat, armor is down. One more shot and we'll be blown to
Hyperflight engines are out.
Thrusters!
Thrusters won't fire.
I'm going down to the engine room.
The Concord cruiser has stopped firing.
They're out of ammunition.
How long until another cruiser shows up?
2 minutes, maybe 3, but we need to get out of here now.
Why? They don't have anything left.
They've turned the ship around.
Because after they run out of ammo, there's only one option.
They are on a collision course.
Sneaky fuckers.
Nova, open a transmission. Concord cruiser, stop! Our engines are down. We are no longer a threat. You'll be killing yourselves for no reason.
My life is a small price to pay.
Collision in 5, 4, 3.
Earth, Eclipsed, Episode 8, Memories, starring Allegra Rodriguez-Shivers, Reginald West, Christian T. Chan, Amy Linden, Michael Malconian, and Tali Deassis, with Shogo Miyakita and Andrew Oakes. Created and produced by Nicholas Proofer, AJ Churchill, and Victor Lee. Directed by Nicholas Proofer. Written by Alexa Polivka. Music by AJ Churchill, Shane Rutherford Jones, and Alessandro Apolloni. Sound design by AJ Churchill and Shane Rutherford Jones. Choir performance by Fame's Pro ARS Choir. Choir conducted by Sasho Tatarchevsky. Our production interns are Eamon McCune and So Asidao. Earth Eclipsed is a production of The Lunar Company.